Might be a season too far. I think you've only brought 2 players in, and I think there's 12 players gone out. If you can still keep that nucleus of the team, you know, I think you'll still do quite well, and I've got you finishing 4th this season. Now this might be a bit of a surprise to some people. Finished 16th last year, but I always think there'll be one surprise package that always emerges from the pack. Hello, welcome to Only Fools in SCFC. Hope you are all well. Welcome to my 2023-2024 Championship Predictions video, where we're going to predict from 24th to 1st of where I think every team will finish in the Championship this season. So you might have seen some videos towards the end of last season where I got a couple of score predictions right and did quite well. So we're hoping to continue that on this season. So I apologise in advance if I've got your team near the bottom or missing out on promotion. Personal views, but please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below on your team's performance and where you think you will finish. So without further ado, let's get into the video. In 24th, Huddersfield Town. So yes, sorry Terriers fans, I know you had a rough season last season. You brought Neil Warnock in, who did a fantastic job to be fair, got you finishing 18th. But I just feel this season might be a season too far. I think you've only brought 2 players in, and I think there's 12 players gone out. Signed Chris Maxwell and Tom Edwards. So for me, I just think it's going to be a rough season for you. But you know, it could be wrong. But for Huddersfield fans, I apologise, but I have you finishing in 24th place. In 23rd place, Cardiff City. Yes, sorry Bluebirds fans, I have used relegated as well. New manager in place, Erol Bulut, I think he's from Turkey. Again, signed quite a few players, Aaron Ramsey being the main one. Is he past his best? Is he injury prone? How many games will he play for you this season? And there's also quite a few players gone out as well. So I think it's going to be a tough season for you Cardiff fans as well. So sorry, I have you getting relegated again. Relegated. In 22nd place, Queen's Park Rangers. Yes, the Hoops fans with Gareth Ainsworth in charge. Again, I think it's going to be a tough season. I think he struggled last season. There's been massive upheaval at the club. On and off the pitch, there's 12 players gone out. Have brought some experience in, namely Asmir Begovic, and I think just signed Jack Cole back today. But I just think it's going to be a tough old season for QPR, and I've got them finishing in 22nd place. In 21st place, Birmingham City. So Birmingham, who finished 17th last season, they have had some major ingoings and outcomings this season, but I think it's going to be another tough season. Yes, you've signed Dion Sanderson and Taylor Roberts, and I think Shariki Dembele as well from Portsmouth, so some good additions, but also some big players gone out, namely Joby Bellingham and Tyler Chong, who's gone to Luton. So I think he'll miss out on relegation, but just by 1 place. In 20th place, Rotherham United. So Millers fans who finished 19th last season, I've got you finishing a place worse this season. Have signed a couple of players in Fred Onyedinma and Cafu from Nottingham Forest, who have got good experience, but there's been a few players gone out. So for Rotherham fans, I've got you avoiding relegation, which I'm guessing will be a success for you, but finishing in 20th place. In 19th place, Hull City. So Tigers fans finished 15th last season. I've got you finishing a little bit worse this year. Liam Rossigny did a cracking job, and I think just keeping us up last season, which was a great effort. Signed Liam Delap on loan from Manchester City, who seems to be doing the rounds in the Championship with loan clubs and never seems to set the place alight. But let's hope you have a good season for you this season. There have been quite a few outgoings at the club as well, but for me, 19th place for Tigers fans. In 18th place, Ipswich Town. So newly promoted Ipswich, I think will have a decent season. I think 18th will be seen as quite a good season for yous. Have signed some players in Jack Taylor and George Hurst from Peterborough and Leicester, but there's also a few players gone out who were deemed not necessarily good enough for the Championship. So Ipswich fans, I've got yous avoiding relegation, which will be a good season in 18th. 17th place, Sheffield Wednesday. Another promoted team. Again, been a bit of an upheaval at the club. Darren Moore, who left apparently after wanting more money, but you've appointed a good manager in Xisco Muniz. Also signed some players with experience. Ashley Fletcher, who was on loan at Sunderland, and 2 Spanish players. So Muniz has shown his Spanish connections there in Juan Delgado and Paul Valentin. Time will tell how good they're going to be if they can adapt to life in the Championship. Also a few players gone out. But for me, I think 17th will be a good season, just to cement yourselves in the Championship, and go again the season after. In 16th place, Plymouth Argyle. So yes, yet another promoted team. Won League One last season. Stephen Schumacher in charge. Again, did a fantastic job following, I think it was Ryan Lowe's exit. Took over and kept them going really, and won the league. Signed some decent players as well in Kane Kessler-Hayden from Aston Villa, Morgan Whittaker from Swansea, who's a decent player, and also Barley Mumba, who was on loan there last season. He's made that move permanent. So 16th, again, it'll be another successful season for yous to avoid relegation. In 15th place, Bristol City. So Robins fans, finished 14th last season. I've got you finishing around about the same place this season. Nigel Pearson still in charge. Signed some decent players in the summer. Robert Dickey from QPR signed a player from Aberdeen called Ross McCrory, who I've heard is quite decent. Also got Hayden Roberts and Jason Knight from Derby County. So spent about £5 million in the summer. But I just think still potentially losing Alex Scott, who I think will be a big blow if he does go before the season starts or before the window closes. So Robins fans, I've got you in 15th. In 14th place, Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn fans had a fantastic season last season. I think he's definitely overachieved to finish in 7th. This season, I think you might struggle. Lost Brent Burritt and Diaz and Bradley Dack, and not really brought in a great deal of players. Brought 3 players in, as far as I know: Neil Ennis from Plymouth, Sondra Tronstead and Amir Sigurdsson. But I just think it's going to be a season not as good as last season for you Blackburn fans, and I've got you finishing in 14th place. In 13th place, Preston North End. So Preston fans, with Ryan Lowe in charge, finished 12th last year. I think it'll be another same type of season. Signed Will Keane, who I think will be a decent player, got good goal scoring record in the Championship, scored quite a few goals for Wigan in a struggling side last season. But other than that, you've signed a few loans. I think you've signed one from Liverpool, Louis Leighton Stewart, on loan from undisclosed from Liverpool, and another couple that you've picked up. But for me, I think it's the same type of season that you had last season, and got you finishing in 13th. In 12th place, Swansea City. So Swansea fans, Michael Duff in charge, signed a decent centre forward in Jerry Yates this season in the summer. But finished 10th last season. I think it's going to be again a similar type of season for you this season. I think there's about 8 or 9 players gone out as well, and replaced them with the 3. So I think a steady away season, mid-table, 12th place for Swansea City. In 11th place, Millwall. So Millwall again, they always seem to be there or thereabouts in the Championship. They have they seem to be up and around the playoffs. Fellaway just missed out last season. They finished in 8th. This season I think it'll be 11th for you. Signed Kevin Nisbet, who's been linked with Championship moves for the past 2 or 3 seasons. You've actually signed him. Probably might be a decent signing, but I just think it'll be just another season where you miss out on the playoffs, and I've got Millwall in 11th place. In 10th place, West Bromwich Albion. So West Brom, who finished 9th last season, haven't really signed too many players. In fact, they've only signed 2, but the 2 they have signed could prove to be decent additions. Jeremy Samiento from Brighton, who's a young lad, really highly rated at Brighton, great attacking talent, could be a fantastic signing for you. Also today just signed Josh Madger on a free transfer. Now he's got history with Sunderland. Now we know what happened with the way he departed Sunderland, but on his day he scores goals. He's got a good record for Bordeaux. They've released him, and West Brom have snapped him up. Outgoings, obviously lost Darrell O'Shea, good centre half, has gone to Burnley. Also Jake Livermore, good experience in the middle of the pitch, he's also gone. But I think it'll be a decent season, but ultimately just missing out on the playoffs. 10th for West Bromwich Albion. In 9th place, Watford. So the Hornets finished 11th last season. I think it's going to be a similar type of season this season, as seems to be the case with Watford. There's always some, massive ingoings, outgoings. 10 players have come in, 13 players have gone out. Signed Tom Ince, like we just said, Jake Livermore from Watford. So Tom Ince on his day again is a great Championship player, just doesn't seem to do it consistently enough. But outgoings, you've lost Ismail Sarr, who's got to Marseille. Tom Cleverley's retired. Assombalonga's gone. And João Pedro who's gone to Brighton as well. Will be big misses this season, especially Sarr and João Pedro. So for me, an improvement from last season, but only 2 places from 11th to 9th. In 8th place, Norwich City. So Norwich, Canaries fans, David Wagner in charge. I think you've signed a very good centre forward in Ashley Barnes. Did great for Burnley last season, and they released him when they got promoted to the Premier League. He knows this division inside out. Yes, he's getting on in years a bit, but as a forward man, he's great, holds the ball up, strong, and he won't score you many goals, but he brings other players into the game. Also signed Shane Duffy from Fulham on a free transfer. Again, a big, strong centre half who I think will do very well for you. Lost Timu Puki, who didn't have his best of seasons last season, but still knows where the net is. But there's 10 players still gone out. A bit of upheaval there from Norwich as well. But for me, an improvement from 13th last year up to 8th. In 7th place, Southampton. Saints fans, so relegated last season from the Premier League. Dreadful season, for Hughes fans last year. Appointed Russell Martin in the summer. Also, you've signed Shea Charles from Man City for £10.5 million, and also getting Ryan Manning from Swansea on a free transfer. But there's a lot of players gone out, as would be expected. You've lost Elianusi, Theo Walcott, Ibrahim Diallo, and I expected to lose James Ward-Prowse, possibly Shea Adams as well. So, even though you've made that signing in Shea Charles, I think it's still going to be a season ultimately where you don't go back up. So I've got them just missing out on the playoffs in 7th place. In 6th place, Coventry City. So Sky Blues, Mark Robbins, we know what a great job he's done there. I think it'll be a similar type of season. Got off to a bad start last year, and I think with a better start, possibly could have challenged for the top 2, or at least top 3 or 4. Finished 5th last year. Lost Victor Gyökeres, which is going to be a big blow for them. But they've signed Ellis Sims, and I think they're also close to sign Haji Wright from a Turkish team. If that forward line, if they can keep Hamer as well, there'll be a threat, and a threat to any team in the Championship. But for me, ultimately, I think he's still getting the playoffs. I've got you, finishing a place less in 6th place. In 5th place, Sunderland. So yes, my team, as you can see behind, finished 6th last year, just snuck in the playoffs on the last day. I think we've made some great signings, namely Joby Bellingham. I think he's got great potential. Bradley Dack as well, if we can keep him fit, is going to be a great addition. We've also got Luis Amedo, Jensen Seelt, defender, Elijah Meander, and Nectarius Triantis. I think they've made some astute signings in the model. Younger players, hungry. So I think it'll be another season. Obviously, we haven't replaced Amad Diallo. So I think we'll be in and around the playoffs, and I've got us finishing in 5th place. In 4th place, Leeds United. So Leeds have appointed Daniel Farker in the summer. Again, a really season full of turmoil last season, been managers and God knows what, but seem to have kept the majority of the players from last season. Out's gone Adam Forshaw, I think would be a great signing for us, for Sunderland, like midfield type player. Robin Koch, Diego Llorente, Brendan Aronson and Tyler Roberts have all gone out the door, but you have signed Ethan Ampadu from Chelsea from £7 million, who I think will be a great addition, and also Carl Darlow, the goalkeeper from Newcastle. If you can still keep that nucleus of the team, I think you'll still do quite well, and I've got you finishing 4th this season. In 3rd place, Stoke City. Now this might be a bit of a surprise to some people. Finished 16th last year, but I always think there'll be one surprise package that always emerges from the pack, and I think this year it's going to be Stoke City. They've had major upheaval. We know Alex Neil left Sunderland to join there at the beginning of last season, after the few games, and didn't really get going. he's had a summer to get things where he needed to be. You know, there's 10 players gone out, 11 players come in, including Enda Stevens, Ben Pearson from Bournemouth, Michael Rose from Coventry, amongst others. And I think, you know, I think Stoke will have a really, really good season this year, and I've got Stoke actually finishing third. A lot of people will probably disagree with that, but just my personal opinion, I think Stoke could be the surprise package in the dark horse this season. In second place, Middlesbrough. So yes, Middlesbrough had a great season last season, finished fourth. You know, just fell away a bit at the end. They were on course to catch Burnley and Luton, but just fell away at the end. Maybe injuries and stuff caught up with them. But I think again they'll have another good season this season. They've got a good manager in Michael Carrick. Signed some good young players in Terrell Aguiman from Man City, Alex Gilbert from Brentford, Martin Rogers from Man City as well. I haven't really lost that too many players apart from the players who they deemed, you know, not good enough and have come to the end of the course at Middlesbrough. So I think another good season for Middlesbrough. Automatic promotion, second place. And champions, Leicester City. Now again, I try to find ways of not to put Leicester in. You know, everybody's jumping the Leicester bandwagon, but ultimately I couldn't find a reason not to put them in the league. You know, I think, yes, they've lost players in the likes of Maddison, Tielemans, Soyuncu, Ayoze Perez, Harvey Barnes. They've all gone out, but they've signed Harry Winks, they've signed Connor Cody, Callum Doyle's gone there on loan, they've signed a goalkeeper, which they sadly needed in Mads Hermansen. So I just think they're going to be really, really strong this season. They've still got Jamie Vardy playing for them, amongst others. I think Kenichi Iheanacho are still there as well. So if they can hang on to them players, I really, really think they're going to have a strong season, and I think they're going to go straight back up. So for me, Leicester City will be champions of the Championship this season. So that's my Championship predictions for 2023-2024. Like I say, I do apologise if you've disagreed with any of your team's predictions, but please let me know in the comments below what you think, where you think your team will finish, what else you think you need, and that sort of. And we'll compare. We might do a mid-season update, and then we'll review this at the end of the season. But thanks for watching, and I do appreciate if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 by the end of the year. Please give this video a like and smash the thumbs up. It'll help with promoting the channel. But like I always say, greatly appreciate if everybody who's watched and subscribes. Until the next time, thanks for watching. Take it easy, stay safe, and we'll speak soon. Ta-ra.